Hello everyone. XDC, hbar, and Hotcoin. Is this a collaboration of all three? Now I'll state this. I don't own Hotcoin, but I do recognize it. Some of you guys obviously have recognized it. It's hovered in the top 100 a few times. But why would all three of these want to come together to work with each other? Well, I'll give you a little bit of an answer. Real world assets and tokenization of that. So let's jump into the material. Smash the like if you haven't done so already, and you're definitely going to want to see this recent development in regards to XinFin XDC. So let's jump into it. Here we go. First thing we're going to get into is this straight from XinFin, and basically speaking, it is in regards to what's referred to as the 2.0 upgrade. Now, this is a legitimate update. As you can see right here, it goes into detail about this because it says that the XDC network plans 2.0 upgrade is in early October. I mentioned this, I think, in my last deep dive, but it's going to bring forensics monitoring and subnets. Now, that part I didn't mention last time. In this exclusive, the XDC network will upgrade to 2.0 or near roughly October 2nd. That's right around the corner. And according to the team, quote, with this CertiK audit now completed, XDC 2.0, when launched, will be the only layer 1 protocol that can achieve BFT accountability through forensic monitoring. Now, I want to state this. I have seen the whole thing of Chainlink when it comes to BFT monitoring. And basically speaking, you have to keep in mind when we talk about things like, Byzantine fault tolerance is the reference. So there is that. But here's the thing. Forensics monitoring, that's some pretty deep stuff, is it not? Let's get more into this. Let's blow it back up. XDC is also introducing a thing called user-friendly architecture for subnets. And that includes a generator manager, subswap interface, and even the movement of tokens across subnets or any mainnet, and the XDC Zero app for cross-chain interoperability. Any XDC subnet will be as secure as the XDC mainnet and should be a key driver of institutional adoption. That is definitely what we want to see. Now, one thing I want to point out before we get more into all of this, I want you guys to understand some key things from my particular notes. And, some people ask, like, well, okay, I mean, I get it, sorta, but, it's point out certain things in regards to, like, is this upgrade, what is it really, like, what's significant in that regard? Well, when we talk about forensics monitoring, understand that that is real game changer, especially for XDC moving forward. It provides a level of accountability, transparency, and it's unmatched basically in the blockchain space. Hence why they're making this bold statement that XDC is the only one that provides this, currently speaking. See what you want, maybe supply and demand will kick in. But more importantly, the ability to monitor and audit transactions in real time, well, that in itself will instill greater confidence in, of course, institutions, investors, and at the end of the day, would that make XDC a more attractive option for those investors and institutions? I think the answer is yes. But moving forward, this is the next thing I want to get into, and that is user-friendly subnets. Now keep in mind, the introduction of a simplified architecture for subnets, of course, would lower barriers that have been put into place a while back, but more in particular, the entry for institutions and, of course, developers. I mean, say what you want, building out an ecosystem, that's the whole point. This will enable the creation of customized subnets for specific use cases, and more importantly, supply chain management. I mean, XDC always gets mentioned in that sentence, does it not? But financial services, come across in the mix. How about this? You guys know I'm a gamer. Haven't done a lot of it lately, but I try to do it when I get a little bit of time. But yeah, even gaming. And more importantly, all of this without comprising security. You know, one thing that's always stood out for Ethereum a while back was, yeah, it's slow, but it's trusted as far as security, especially when you compare it to like things like BNB. But here's the thing. I did bring up the whole thing of XDC 0. So, you know, you guys know me. I talk about quant quite a bit, do I not? But when we hear the statements of enhanced interoperability, at least for me, I always think quant. But we know about the connection of XDC with quant, and especially when it comes to XDC and R3, Corda, right? That bridge is probably one of the biggest ones out there. It definitely stands out. But moving forward, this concept of XDC 0, it's the cross-chain interoperability app that will basically allow for seamless communication and transfer, value transfer. You know how we were talking about the internet of value? But it's that value transfer between XDC and, of course, other blockchains. I mean, say what you want, back to the quant reference. Value with other blockchains, interoperability. But will this expand XDC's ecosystem, attract more developers, and, of course, projects? Well, you already see it. With the whole thing of Hedera joining in the mix, and even Hotcoin, I think it's a big win moving forward because of what? Real world asset tokenization. Overall, keep in mind that XDC 2.0 upgrade is definitely 100% a major step forward for the network and has the potential to significantly accelerate its adoption, of course, to institutions. Then, can we get to the point where we have mass adoption, especially for institutions? Isn't that where the big money is at? Yes, it definitely is. Because, as we know, when we talk about the big money, well, there's things like Blackrock, and we'll get more into that here in a bit. And I'm not the only person that's covered this. I mean, in reality, other people have talked about this since last summer. But what do I really have in regards to this particular update? Well, let's fast forward and take you over to here, because I do think this is really important. So what do we see? We see that Zenfin 12 hours ago reported about XDC Network Demo Day, and it was posted by Foundership HQ. Now, if you're not aware of them, they are a Web3 and AI accelerator, venture capital. Yeah, does that sound bullish? For Web3 and AI startups. That sounds really cool. And more importantly, they just started at this thing called 80RR FinTech Hub in Singapore. And of course, they welcome quite a few people. And if anything, I believe it's going on as we speak. So as I got more into this, I said to myself, okay, interesting. But, you know, they had some clips from the demo day. And you see people educating others in regards to XDC. But more importantly, here's what really stands out. Mohante Sunny, or Sunny Mohante, excuse me. She's a blockchain enthusiast, but she is the head of ventures and ecosystem building at XDC. And she joined the panel discussion at the Future of Tech Web3 Networking Mixer on RWA tokenization topic, along with Pythorn T developer advocate at Hashgraph. See, there's our hbar connection. And that was Sandy Carter, Chief Operating Officer. And you also have Stephen Koo over at Hotcoin Global. Interesting. And to see all of them come together, I think it's definitely worth pointing out. And here's some pictures about this. So, collaborations in regards to real-world asset tokenization, like it says, the next frontier in blockchain adoption, I think it's 100% spot on. And I think other industry players realize the significance of, you know, collaborating with the likes of XDC. And as I got more into this, I said to myself, yeah, you know what? It's just a matter of time before you see other ones, you know? And of course, you see even Hotcoin on top of that list with Hedera. Definitely worth pointing out. Now, in regards to Blackrock, there's a citation here from xdc.org, and this was published last summer, and I get it, you know, I didn't do exactly a video at that time about it because everybody else was posting about it, but again, it's a great reference to remind you, and especially if you're new to XDC, because when we talk about milestones, recognize that XDC has 5 years advancing real-world asset tokenization, but more importantly, again, that BlackRock reference, because here's the thing, most notably, Securitize. They pioneers, or I should say, they pioneered in digitization of private market securities, of course, on blockchain. But to have that whole thing of XDC remaining one of only 4 blockchains integrated onto the BlackRock backed platform, that speaks volumes moving forward for XDC. And more importantly, just in case you also didn't see it, there's numerous outlets that report about it. Because back to the whole thing of Hedera and Hotcoin collaborating with Zenfin XDC, they realized that RWA tokenization is truly a digital on-chain representation of off-chain value. Think about that. The benefits of tokenizing assets on the XDC blockchain are widespread and often include creating greater access for investors to those assets, which can lead to, of course, faster settlement times and potentially asset appreciation. And when we want to see asset appreciation, do we not? But look what it says here. Real-world asset tokenization use cases include, and boy do these ever stand out, just in case you weren't aware of it, U.S. Treasuries, trade finance assets, private credit, precious materials, real estate, obviously, I mean, we're talking about real-world assets, and any tangible asset with value. And of course, just like the others, they reference the whole thing that BlackRock holds some XDC, for crying out loud. That is bullish as all you know what. Now, back to the whole thing about Securitize, because if you weren't aware of it, there was other things that might not have been mentioned when we get more into the weeds of this. Because back in August 29th, 2023, TradeTech, which is the marketplace for private credit and real assets, and provider of securitization as a service, announced the ability of accredited investors to get access to a multi-billion-dollar exchange-traded U.S. Treasury fund, which is called USTY. USTY will be tokenized by digital asset leader Securitize and, of course, on the XDC network. The whole point is that new USTY token and tying everything in, of course, to the likes of XDC, because like it says here, TradeTech was selected as XDC network, blockchain platform. And if you get really into the weeds of it, yeah, you better believe it was the first time the XDC network was used by Securitize to tokenize digital asset securities. Again, back to the whole Larry Fink statement that he made before in his interviews, but I want to pound this home just a little bit more, because bringing USTY to the XDC network establishes an unparalleled investment solution for both seasoned investors seeking portfolio diversification and newcomers looking for stable investment opportunity. I played that Larry Fink interview numerous times, and it pounds home everything that he mentions in the interviews. So with that said, when we get more into the weeds of things, I want people to understand, it's like, yeah, guess what? These old citations are really aging well, because when you go to like Ledger Insights, like we are right now, what's it say? DTCC's DLT stock settlement system goes live in parallel production. That was over 2 years ago. But more importantly is understanding how it all really truly ages well. Because May 31st, 2024, back to the reference from SBI XDC, SBI Japan with R3, May 31st, 2024, XDC Network and R3 successfully completed inter-business settlement, POC, proof of concept. Why is that so important? Because, again, it's what's mentioned plain as day. Because the POC in itself proved that value via digital asset can be transferred over different distributed ledger technologies. And what one are we talking about here? Yeah, you better believe it. XDC Network and R3 Corda platform as a form of payment to improve efficiency and facilitate inter-business settlement in trade transactions. Yeah, R3 Corda with XDC. XDC is the settlement token for R3. And that's been established for a long time. Never forget how powerful the XDC R3 Corda bridge truly, truly is. As we get more into this, check this out. because again, it pounds it home, even from a citation from Impel. And like you see, R3 Corda XDC network bridge, allowing digital assets to be used for instant settlement amongst core dApps. Yeah, core dApps. That is absolutely huge. All right, how about this one? Literally posted just a few hours ago from Forbes. And here's a great analogy that I want you guys to pay attention to. I feel as though that the whole announcement from Larry Fink and BlackRock about Bitcoin is a distraction, because when we talk about getting your X's, no pun intended, it's about not getting a 2x gain, 3x gain, 4x, and so on. It's getting gains of like 100x's and more, is it not? The future generational wealth. But BlackRock's already made it. But even them, they want to see more gains. So listen to this analogy that's literally referencing back to the whole thing of this article of 4 trillion reasons why BlackRock changed his mind on digital assets. But more importantly, everybody, XDC. The best historical analogy to today's tokenization moment is the development of railroads in the 19th century. These massive infrastructure projects carved through mountain ranges and fording mighty rivers transformed societies in ways barely imaginable by even their most fervent financial backers. They didn't merely slash journey times for freight and passengers. No, they brought vast economic, political, and social change in their wake. After the railroads, nothing was ever the same again. Think about that. When we talk about, even things like Ripple, XRP, building the rails. Well, this is XDC. We're trying to build the rails of digitized supply chain, but more importantly, the connection to real world assets and even the custodians of it all, like BlackRock. It's the same with digital assets and tokenization, everybody. These technologies are the financial rails of the future. Investors like BlackRock are the modern day equivalents of Cornelius Vanderbilt, Jay Gould, and of course the original JP Morgan. Oh boy. The great financiers' descendants are now seizing the opportunities afforded by digital asset revolution. Hence the reference to BlackRock, the world's leading asset custodian, whether they want to admit it or not. Because here's the thing, the great financiers' descendants are now seizing the opportunities afforded by the digital asset revolution. For example, through Onyx, claimed by JP Morgan to be the world's first bank-led blockchain platform for exchanging of value, information, digital assets. And oh, by the way, if you haven't seen my quant video, JP Morgan joined what? The Oracle ecosystem. And Oracle is partnered with who? Quant. And who is the one that does the infrastructure for Oracle? Yeah, you could put two together on that one. As we get more into this, like the railroad builders of yesteryear, it's all about building the future. There are many obstacles to overcome before tokenized assets can fulfill their potential and transform the world of investments and financial services. There are many knotty problems to solve, ranging from secure custody at institutional scale to securing regulatory clarity and, of course, acceptance. But while there is a superb progress so far, much of this piecemeal, if you will, for example, have widely different approaches. And of course, that brings up regulations, different jurisdictions. But this means, everybody, some countries are fast becoming hubs for digital assets, while others are at risk of becoming backwaters. This delays the full transformational promises of tokenization, which can be achieved when the benefits are truly universal. And think about how far back some people pointed out that the United States is at. So that's where it's at for me. I wanted to point some of this out to you and basically bring it to you. Let me know what you think in regards to all of this. And if anything, if you listen to the outline, just do me a simple, quick favor and type in the comments this key thing. And that is BR, as in BlackRock. And I'll know that you listen to the outline. Appreciate you all. Know what you have. Know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. We'll see you on the next one.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. Say goodbye to complicated setups And hello to Decent Wallet, the hassle-free solution to your digital currency needs. With just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.